Here we go, family of musty, nasty African tether. Because, oh, yeah, she was tethering real hard to appease the dominant white society. She going to say that black Africans and African Americans, they don't claim us black Americans. And that's cool because we for sure as hell don't claim them. But the nerve of these people to be up over here in our homeland, USA, the land that FBA built, eating up all the resources and aid, with this kind of disposition, they can miss me with that because I liken this to, that growing adult child that you may got sitting up, on your couch, eating up all the snacks and the potato chips, flicking the remote, not doing a damn thing when in all actuality, you just want that kid to get up out your home, and she went on to say in this video, as it plays, when I let it play, she'll say that, we always blaming the white man, speaking about historical injustices. And you damn right, we got the right to speak about historical injustices. And we ain't blaming, the white man, but we blame the system of racism, white supremacy, and y'all turn a blind eye to the system of racism, white supremacy. See, the name of the game to these tethers is tuck your head low, and try to be submissive as you can be because they don't come over here to fight no white supremacy. They come over here to take a knee and bow to the system of racism, white supremacy. Because in all actuality, them coming over here to the U.S., is they lottery ticket, these tethers, because they just hit the lottery in all actuality. And we, as foundational Black Americans, we ain't happy with the bare minimum. This is our land. We built America up, so we demand those historical injustices be made right. And the only way those historical wrongs can be mended to a certain degree is in the form of restorative justice that comes from cash reparations. So I got the audio and the video of this nasty, musty, funky tether, and we're going to walk through and talk about it how we normally do, family. Fair use.
True Black Africans and African Americans do not claim Black Americans. We are not the same.
That's cool. We ain't the same. Y'all not like us. We don't come from a spirit of fleeing. We come from a spirit of resistance, standing up in the face of injustice and oppression and, getting it out the mud and never backing down.
African tends to focus on progress, family values, and community upliftment.
Okay, progress, community upliftment, family values. They community upliftment is, fleeing up over here, tucking their tail. And I hope y'all ain't, talking about teaching family values and whatnot. I hope y'all ain't teaching y'all kids to, be defecating in the streets and things of that nature. But let's continue.
Rather than dwelling on historical grievances, they prioritize education and hard.
We got the right to talk about our historical grievances because y'all fled. You know what I mean? Seeing a system of racism, white supremacy, family, you're going to do one or two things. Either you're going to flee, which is submission and copping out to it, or you're going to stand up and fight and stand and look at that thing, and never back down. And we, as foundational Black Americans, we chose to, stand up in the system of racism, white supremacy, never take a knee and bow down and flee. We are the fighter class. We're the warrior class, FBA warrior class. All these people know is, fleeing, going along to get along and tucking their tail. But let's continue.
Work. They don't live life blaming the white man.
Hard work. Y'all come over here and get lifted up and get all these kind of, resources and aid given to you. Everything that foundational Black Americans get, we had to get it out the mud. We got no, system giving us, free money and compensation. How y'all immigrants do coming over here, we built this joint. But let's continue.
For all their failures, challenges, or the choices that they make, many Africans strive to give their children better opportunities and instill values like hard work.
The way y'all Africans and, other groups of immigrants have, to give your kids, a better life is, coming up over here and fleeing. All y'all teaching your kids is a fleeing mindset. Y'all ain't teaching them when the going gets tough, stand up and look at that adversity in the face and stand on business. But let's continue.
Work and responsibilities. They don't raise their kids to hate the white man and blame them for all of their problems.
That's her saying that as a way of, her copping out to the system of racism, white supremacy, and taking a knee and bowing to it. And we don't blame, the white man for all of our problems. What we do blame, and we don't teach our kids to, blame the white man. But what we do is teach our kids to stand up to the system of racism, white supremacy, and never bow down to it and stand up to injustices on any scale, and I can bet your my last dollar that's not ingrained in y'all, because for the most part you see videos of, these melanated immigrants being whacked around on the head with sticks, by Asians, being misused and abused, by white people. And that's just never been our style as foundational Black Americans. We come from a resistance, a spirit of resistance, rebellion and standing on truth to power. We fight against any injustices and oppression on any scale. And the mindset of a tether, like I told y'all, when y'all went in a system of racism, white supremacy family, you're going to do one or two things. Either you're going to flee, which means copping out and taking a knee to it, or you're going to stand up and fight. And we foundational Black Americans, we took the fighting route. But let's continue.
That's why they can't grow. Africans are hard workers and they work on self-improvement. They hold themselves accountable for their actions instead of making everything about race and blaming the system. True Africans do not.
And they come over here, family. They're not aggrieved on this land, so their fight and struggle ain't our fight and struggle. When it got tough for these people in their homeland, they took a cowardice route of fleeing. Everybody can't flee, nor should they, because if everyone just flees, the system don't never get, amended. You just fleeing away from the injustices and oppression. So we look at injustice and oppression, and we look at it as, a barrier that we got to break through and knock down altogether. And let's continue.
Not celebrate when a white kid loses his life to a black kid.
There we go. We getting to the nitty gritty right now. Here we go. She's talking about our brother Carmelo Anthony.
The decent Black Americans out there.
And we ain't celebrating a white kid losing his life to a black kid, but we for sure as hell, got a right and a duty to defend ourselves as foundational Black Americans. See, the mindset of these tethers is, when white supremacist society does them wrong, to tuck their tail and just sit there and absorb that abuse. Damn that. We got a right and a duty as foundational Black Americans to stand up for ourselves and fight back against this racist, unjust, oppressive system. But let's continue.
There, we claim you. We see you. And we love you. Thank you for being a decent human being.
Yeah, family, we can't get on code with people like this, nor do I want to get on code. They got a mindset of fleeing, and a mindset of submitting to this, oppressive system, So in all actuality, FBA is all we got. And, this woman is just, saying and doing what she's doing to, appease the dominant white society. But in closing, she probably, a bad wench who got her a white man. She got bad wench written all over her. Just my thoughts on the matter, but we can't let them project this fleeing mindset of failure on us. Peace.